Haya, sawa. Asante sana. Tafadhali tunaweza keti chini. Asanteni sana. Ndugu wananchi wa Kajiado, hamjambo? Kajiado, hamjambo? Enda subabogi. Enda subabogi. Beisi sio laitoriani. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Hebu nione kwa mikono. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Basi tafadhali mnaweza keti chini. Thank you very much. You may take your seats. Kwa sababu sherehe hii ni ya rasmi, mutanikubalia nisome taarifa yangu kwa lugha ya Kiswahili ama Kiingereza, alafu nitasema mambo machache baadaye. We assemble here in the sweeping heartlands of Kajiado County to celebrate culture, exalt heritage, and restore justice. We also gather to pay tribute to the Ma people, a people whose identity is inseparable from land, the wildlife, and the rhythm of culture. More than a century ago, this land, then known as the Southern Maasai Reserve, was yours, a sanctuary where your ancestors roamed freely, living in harmony with elephants, the lions, the antelopes, and all the animals in the wild. They were custodians of a landscape so magnificent, so rich in wonder, that it continues to inspire awe today, just as it did then. In 1974, the Amboseli was gazetted as a national park, and later in 1991, it was recognized as a UNESCO Man and Biosphere Reserve. Though the intention behind this recognition was noble and well-meaning, born out of a desire to strengthen conservation, the outcome carried painful consequences, leaving wounds, rifts, and disruptions that even the passage of time could not heal. The Ma community lost management and benefits, and for decades, you carried that pain with dignity, patience, and faith that one day, justice would prevail. Among those who stood at the forefront of that long and difficult struggle were three gallant sons of this land: Francis Olelegis, Lenku Olempa, and Lesinko Olengaitole. Though they are no longer with us, their courage, conviction, and unyielding commitment to the cause of justice for Amboseli will forever be remembered. Today, we honor them posthumously for their selfless fight to defend the rights of their people and to protect the heritage of this park. In 2005, President Mwai Kibaki, our third president, made an audacious and sincere effort to return the Amboseli to the community under the then Olkejuado County Council. Yet, despite his determination, the process proved too complex and too difficult to bring to completion. 2 years later, in August 2023, during the Ma Cultural Festival in Narok, You came to me with your petition, asking that the Ma people be recognized once again as the rightful stewards of the Amboseli. I recall making a commitment to you that I would do everything within my power to ensure that justice would no longer be delayed. We subsequently established an advisory committee, engaged both levels of government, and listened to conservation experts. We listened to lawyers and community members. I also remember that when we began this journey, I was warned that it would not be easy, that there would be legal hurdles, institutional complexities, and competing interests to navigate. But with wisdom, consultation, and respect for the rule of law, we found a way. Today, I stand here to fulfill that promise. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, as part of preserving the splendor of our heritage, advancing our national aspiration for shared prosperity, and in exercise of the authority vested in the heads of state of Kenya, today I have directed that the management of Amboseli National Park is now vested in the county government of Kajiado. Fellow citizens, this transfer represents what Kenya must always stand for: justice, inclusion, and shared prosperity. It affirms a fundamental truth that the people who live closest to wildlife are not the enemies of conservation. They are its first defenders. This is what devolution means: power, responsibility, and opportunity in the hands of the people. To the Ma community, your elders, the citizens of this county, have already demonstrated commitment by setting aside over 1 million acres for wildlife corridors and dispersal areas. That fact alone tells the world that the Maasai are not asking for charity. You are asking for partnership. I am fully aware that there are voices in the conservation community, both at home and abroad, who will carry doubts about this decision. To them, I say this: nothing has been lost today. In fact, everything has been gained. This is not a weakening of conservation. It is a renewal, because conservation that is led by the people lasts longer, works better, and heals deeper. Let me also assure every stakeholder that the government is fully committed to protecting our wildlife and fulfilling all, and I mean all, international obligations. The Kenya Wildlife Service and the Kenya Wildlife Research and Training Institute will continue to provide services, ecological monitoring, and technical oversight as they have done in the past and as they do in all protected areas. The Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife will continue to provide policy guidance and technical support to the county government of Kajiado. To the leaders of Kajiado County and to the Ma community, the new semi-autonomous government agency that will manage Amboseli is not a political outfit. It is a professional institution for the people, and it must remain so. Let us also not allow politics, division, or greed to taint this victory. This agency must operate with transparency, professionalism, and integrity for the good of conservation and for the good of the Ma community. As President, I will take personal responsibility to ensure that the national government provides support and oversight to Kajiado County government. May the Ma people show the world that what history has always known, that they are the true, faithful, and steadfast guardians of Amboseli. May this community protect this land with the same devotion with which it honors its heritage. And may Amboseli rise stronger and prouder, its destiny renewed, and its future secured. Let this moment mark not only the return of stewardship, but also the triumph of justice, the power of community, and the promise of conservation founded on community ownership. I thank you very much. Ndugu wananchi, niliona saidia microphone ingine wewe boss hapo. Niliona ni vizuri nisome hii taarifa kwa sababu sherehe ya leo ni sherehe ya kihistoria. Today we are making history kwa sababu we are not only sorting out a quarrel among individuals. We are not only sorting out what became a community concern, but we are also sorting out what became a conservation challenge here in Amboseli.